Lexington, Kentucky, well, they've been closed for on-distance learning since January 26. What's keeping the schools from reopening and why that's drawn the attention of Kentucky's governor. Plus, your pictures and videos like this one of a stunning sunset on Smith Lake.
Live on your side. First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
And we begin with a look at our sky vision from Centerville. And at the moment, this is not an overcast sky. Very smoky sky there. You probably notice here in Bibb County. Just letting our friends here know there's some controlled burns happening in the area. And some of this could drift in over towards Chilton County as well. So something that we are tracking. But right now, as far as cloud cover goes, and no precipitation, no cloud cover. But we do have a cold front that's moving in. And that is going to bring a change in the wind direction overnight tonight. But it's still the temperatures not too bad. I mean, we're showing 65 in Tuscaloosa, 59 here in Hoover, 60 at Birmingham, 58 in Pell City, 53 at Anniston, and to the north temperatures from 60 to 57 in Coleman. But the colder air is coming for the overnight. Here's a closer view on radar, and if you didn't notice some light returns showing up on the First Alert Weather app, that is not precipitation. Sometimes the radar, as you can see here, it picks up targets and is picking up some of the particulates from the smoke from those controlled burns that are happening there over the forest. But we'll bring in some of our smoke dispersion data, and this just shows you where all this hazy air could go as the winds shift around. Notice as we go into the late night, more of that north to south wind that should transport a lot of this more into the south direction. So if you're watching me around places like Marion, maybe around Uniontown, perhaps over here around Lake Payne and down towards Greensboro, some of these areas to the south, Alexander City around Lake Martin, you might notice a little bit of haziness or a little bit of that burn smell in the air. But it's that time of the year. A lot of these necessary controlled burns happening across the state. As we go over to the surface map, though, got to show you there is a cold front out there, and that's about the one way we know, right? We are seeing a change in the wind direction tonight. No precipitation with this, but the main dynamics or main energy with this and precipitation staying well north of Alabama, but it is generating some snowy weather in states well north and east of here. That won't be an issue for us, but we will feel the change in temperatures, especially tomorrow during the day. Today we're close to 70 in places like Tuscaloosa, parts of West Alabama, Birmingham east. We saw temperatures in the 60s, but tomorrow upper 40s for a lot of us. So that is a big drop, and it is going to be breezy out there tomorrow. So don't forget the jacket. The good news is it will be a sunny day, so that's going to help us with the comfort levels. Freezing Sunday morning, but beginning Sunday afternoon and through next week, quite a warm up on the way. I'm still concerned towards the end of next week we could see a more impactful rainmaker, perhaps some storms. Yesterday the models backed off on that, but the signals are showing up again today. So it is something we need to watch. We're talking basically a week from today. We could be in for our next better chance for some wet weather. But we'll be back to show you when we could see some showers into next week. And more on the weekend forecast just after this 30-second break. Stay with us. So again, more on our weekend forecast for Saturday. In the morning, we'll start out with temperatures close to freezing. Some areas north will be just below freezing, but notice I've got the wind chill on here as well. I mean, we're not talking teens or single digits or anything like that, but you can clearly tell that north wind's going to have an impact on comfort levels tomorrow. So you will need that jacket early in the day. The winds stay out of the north tomorrow at about 5 to 15. Could be some higher gusts in there as well. Afternoon highs generally on average there showing some upper 40s, but we'll drop to freezing. It will be much calmer early Sunday morning, but like today, Sunday's one of those days those temperatures will rebound in a hurry, and we saw temperatures go way above some of the forecast guidance today. I mean, we were forecasting some low 60s and we touched 70 degrees. Sunday could be another day like that with some low, maybe even a couple of mid 60s perhaps showing up across parts of Alabama on Sunday. But we'll talk more about that warm up next week and the chance for some wet weather around the middle middle of next week. But a little lost dog survived 20 days in a very cold Fargo, North Dakota. The rescue is thanks to some careful surveillance, local businesses, and maybe a group of caring rabbits. Kevin Wallivant has the story.
Hello.
Here he is, the survivor.
Do you want to smell me?
Peanut, the wonder dog,
Oh my gosh, she is so tiny.
who today met some of those responsible for the rescue.
Everybody was looking for you, bud.
Peanut escaped his Fargo yard on January 8th, and for the next 20 days,
We were just not hopeful that he was going to survive those conditions. And then to see him on camera in the midst of all that storm going on was just, I mean, I can't even explain the feelings.
the little Chihuahua Pomeranian was running solo
The wind chills never hit above zero.
in unimaginable winter temperatures.
The last weekend before we found him, we were seeing 50 to 60 degrees below zero with the wind chill.
Missing signs with a photo of a Peanut were everywhere around town.
I think in those 8 days that we had no sightings, I had become pretty discouraged. I was not hopeful that we were going to find him.
The Minnesota-based nonprofit, The Retrievers, relying on tips from local businesses in an industrial area in Fargo, put out traps for several days.
You know, we tell people dogs are so resilient. They can survive anything. I mean, he's proof of it.
And finally, 20 days after disappearing, Peanut got trapped.
So happy to have you home. You got new friends. Everybody was worried about you.
Area businesses like Gabriel Metal Casting helped look for Peanut, and they swear that he had a little help from his friends, furry friends.
There was 20 bunnies out in the lot where he was running when we were getting him, and he was warm. He found warmth. There was always a bunny next to him whenever we would see him.
And you would think being out for 20 days in sub-zero temperatures would have a drastic impact on Peanut. But he's the wonder dog.
They said, I mean, other than being thin, no frostbite, heart was good, lungs were good.
A happy ending for all who care about Peanut.
Are you smiling? You're happy with all your friends?
Many thought the worst, but in the end, this little bundle fooled them all.
It's a miracle.
Yes.
Right?
He means so much to my family.
With his perseverance, survival skills,
It's literally miraculous. I just don't know how he managed to survive, but
and now he's living his best life.
and sure as heck, we got him home.
Feels good.
It feels wonderful. Feels wonderful.
Certainly some good weather for walking the dog around here with these milder temperatures. But Peanut was given a gift bag that includes toy fluffy rabbits. When the cold hits hard, like it's hit the last couple of weekends, it can certainly wear on your mental health. And coming up, what you can do to help counteract the winter blues.
It's picture time here on Weather Extra, and we're starting out with this from Maxwell Crossing. Chris Haynes sent this in. It was a moonrise, almost looks like sunshine. A full moon coming up over the trees. I think I hear the werewolves howling there, Chris. Thank you for sending that in. Yeah, that was a werewolf, I heard. Hey, this is from Chris Armstrong. These are some giant icicles right along the roadside there on Highway 431. I think this is coming down from Sand Mountain there on 431, but a little moisture coming over the rocks there, and those icicles are pretty impressive. Man, thank you for sending that in, Chris. Priscilla Willingham sent us in some dense fog, this little picture or video, I believe it's a video. This was on our back deck, I guess. Got the hummingbird feeders out. Guess she's looking forward to springtime arriving pretty soon. So looks like a hummingbird feeder and some other bird feeders. I think my wife would get along very well with Priscilla. She loves birds as well. But a little bit foggy in that particular view. Thank you, Priscilla. And this is from Stephen Campbell in Clear Creek. They live right near my parents. So my parents live in Clear Creek there on Logan Martin Lake, and they have this same basic view looking out from their vantage point. So we've got Old Glory not moving, a little bit of patchy fog there on the lake, on Logan Martin Lake. So that's a nice view there as well. Stephen, thank you very much for sending that in. And if you want to send in a picture, you just download our WBRC First Alert Weather app when you send these in. That basically gives us permission to use them on TV. So you can either scan the QR code or do an app search for First Alert WBRC, and you too could be a part here of Weather Extra.
All right, I just like that preview temperature Mickey had there on the weather app. Hey, people in Minnesota may soon see Sled Zeppelin clearing their streets in the next time it snows. That is just one of the finalists for the name a Snowplow contest. Yeah, this is the 6th year the Minnesota Department of Transportation has held the contest. 6,700 submitted names have been cut down to 30. Some of the other Snowplow finalists names include Every Day I'm Shoveling, Here We Snow Again, and The Life of a Snow Girl. And people can cast their snowplow ballot through next Friday. From the group of 30, 8 names will be chosen to adorn the state's snowplows. All right, Kentucky's governor says he's disappointed with the city of Lexington's response to recent winter weather. That response has left students in Fayette County out of school for at the last 10 days. The governor pointed out the difference between roads maintained by the state and the roads maintained by the city. He said roads maintained by the state were cleared from the recent winter storm within 2 days due to pre-treatment measures that Lexington didn't take. That lack of pre-treatment means roads are in such rough shape that school has been out for basically 2 entire weeks. And
I think we're all disappointed by the city's response to this ice and snow event. This is the second one in a row that we should have seen better results, and I think the mayor has said that and has taken responsibility.
And Lexington's mayor disputes the pre-treatment claim, saying the city did extensive pre-treating for the storm, but a thick coating of ice hit the city especially hard, and no word on if students will be able to return to school on Monday. All right, right now more than 100,000 people are out of their homes due to flooding in Morocco. Here's a video released by the Moroccan Ministry of Interior showing one town inundated by a flood. The Army is helping to evacuate folks in that area and is setting up temporary shelters. The rains have ended a 7-year drought there, but now there's overfilled dams and damage to crops. The country's water ministry has launched controlled water releases on dams that are nearing capacity. Well, winter weather affects not only our physical health, but also impacts our mental well-being. As Josh Rosenthal tells us, health experts say there are things you can do to take care of your mental health during the cold, wintry season.
How you holding up in this weather?
Oh, not good.
A sentiment we're hearing a lot.
Last week I was trapped in my house.
Well, I'm definitely ready for some spring. It's been exhausting.
You just have to do what you have to do in this weather.
But that doesn't mean it's easy. Thursday, the Virginia Department of Health as well as the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services, put out a call urging Virginians to care for their mental health during this extreme winter weather.
We know that certain things such as weather conditions, being stuck inside, not being able to have your normal routine can create a lot of challenges or distress.
Officials even comparing the isolation that many people are feeling right now to difficulties during the pandemic.
I think that the driver is the same. It's that social isolation that we experience in the winter months, and particularly in extreme weather, that keeps us from being able to socialize or engage in the normal activities of life that bring us meaning. So that can be very difficult.
They stress that there are resources that can help, including dialing or texting 988 if you're experiencing a mental health crisis in Virginia, calling the peer-run Warm Line for people not experiencing crisis but who want someone to talk to. And officials also have other tips for mental wellness, like doing indoor workouts, making sure to get some natural light, and balancing comfort foods with healthy foods.
We want to be able to get people the support that they need.
All right, a live look from Baptist Health Brookwood, 60 degrees. It's still feeling pretty good out there, but that wind is out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It looks like it's starting to shift around more northwest here at Lake Tuscaloosa, 65 degrees. There's a cold front moving in tonight, 53 now at Jacksonville State University, still showing wind out of the southwest, but later on tonight, especially by midnight, that front's going to push on through here and the temperatures take the tumble. But let's get over to the current wind speeds, and breeze still showing up there. These are the current wind speed, not the gust. The actual wind gust map shows over 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts in places like Coleman, back in towards Aliceville and Fayette. So that breeze is also going to be a factor tonight. That'll keep us, a lot of us, from dropping well below freezing. I think we get close to freezing early in the day tomorrow. As we go through the data tonight, certainly some jacket weather. If you're about to head out, it may not feel quite as bad right now, but you will need that jacket later tonight. So hang on to the long sleeves. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., you can see what we're talking about, some 30s, and the cold north wind takes over tomorrow, so that will be enough to make it feel noticeably cooler during the day. The good news is it will be a sunny day, and just like today, that is certainly going to help us out with the comfort levels, but just plan for temperatures to only top out in the upper 40s for a lot of us tomorrow. We may get close to 50 some areas south, but a chilly day, noticeably cooler than what we had out there today. The good news is Sunday, we turn it around again. Looks like we start out near freezing. Afternoon highs on Sunday will be rising close to 60 degrees. So we'll see a nice warm up coming up. As far as the next big chance of rain, we might see a little bit of wet weather around Wednesday of next week as some milder air takes over. This is some of the global data, and it's still picking up on signals of at least a better chance of rain towards the end of next week. The models have been back and forth on this. I just want to let you know for the 13th into the 14th there's still a chance we might see some rain, possibly some storm impacts with a system that shows up later on next week. It's not a clear home run as far as all the models agreeing on this. I know a lot of you have plans for Valentine's Day. Right now I wouldn't cancel any of those plans, but just know you'll want to check the forecast through the weekend early next week as we get a better handle on the exact timing. But right now it looks like maybe a week from today, next Friday night, we could see a little bit of rain, perhaps some storms. We'll keep an eye on it though as we move ahead. This is our fishing forecast from our Alabama Trolling Motors fishing forecast for Saturday. I know we're talking about some cooler temperatures coming up, but to share this, if you were planning on enjoying the outdoors tomorrow, the moon set time at 9:34 in the morning. Of course, we're coming off of that recent full snow moon, but the moon will be underfoot in the afternoon around 3 to 4 o'clock, a lunar major during that time. 10-day forecast into Monday and Tuesday. We've got highs close to 70, overnight lows milder, not as bad, but Wednesday, again, we factored in a chance for a few scattered showers towards the end of next week. Right now, calling in around 40% chance of rain a week from today and into that Friday night. I still think we're in good shape right now for any plans you have for Valentine's Day during the evening hours, but check the weather app, check in for updates, especially as this gets within this 7-day forecast time range. We will know a lot more over the next few days, but it looks like the temperatures, though, at least during the day, stay on the milder side, so we don't see any Arctic blast showing up anytime soon, or at least the kind of cold that we recently had around Alabama. Looks like at least the temperatures will stay in the 50s, more seasonal range as we move into next weekend. But in the meantime, NASA is sharing this stellar time-lapse view of auroras from the International Space Station. You see green auroras ribbons hugging Earth along with the thin orange glow of our atmosphere tracing the planet's edge. NASA says auroras are the result of charged particles from the sun colliding with the gases in Earth's atmosphere. That's interactions in what we call the magnetosphere. It's guided by Earth's magnetic field. And oxygen also can contribute to the green and red light that you see, and nitrogen produces the blues and the purples. NASA is hitting the pause button on its return to the moon for now. What was supposed to happen this weekend has been pushed back until at least March. Plans to launch Artemis 2 were delayed after hydrogen leaks were discovered during a critical test earlier this week. Coulter Anstead spoke to some engineers about their roles in the historic flight and why safety, of course, is always at the front of their minds.
The Artemis 2 moon rocket remains on the launch pad after a hydrogen leak discovered during a pre-launch test Sunday and Monday.
We learned a lesson again of how small hydrogen is.
Aerospace engineer Dave Piatek works at Langley and was involved in the test.
I do transonic, supersonic wind tunnel testing to understand the aerodynamic performance of the rocket.
We have different assets that will be videotaping and even live streaming.
Shan Ruffer is also an aerospace engineer. The video her team gets helps them monitor what happens with the rocket during launch and re-entry. That includes how the engine's exhaust affects the rocket.
You want to understand how that interaction occurs so you can tell if maybe there's going to be more heat in one area than another.
Ruffer and Piatek's work won't end when Artemis 2's mission is over. They'll use what they learned to help with future missions, including Artemis 3, which is currently scheduled to put astronauts on the moon for the first time in over 50 years.
It's an honor to be part of this generational moment.
It's almost unbelievable, really, like you're living in a dream.
All right, checking out this extended forecast here as we move ahead over the next few days. Tomorrow back to 49 for a high temperature. That's coming off of today. We had temperatures out there close to 70 degrees. That's a big turnaround. The good news is it's a sunshine Saturday. Sunday, start out at freezing up to 60. We warm up next week. We'll keep an eye on the end of next week to see if we see those higher rain chances ramp up or indeed start to play out. So just check the forecast, check our weather app over the weekend as we continue to fine tune that long range forecast. But what a sight on Weiss Lake this week. Pelicans, thanks to Susie Wiseman for sharing this video. And well, you may not see it every day, but the American white pelicans do migrate through central Alabama from February to April. But quite a showing there on Weiss Lake this week. And last night's sunset certainly was one we will remember for quite a while. This is what it looked like at Summiton Christian School. Thanks to Heather Coleman for sharing that photo. And what an absolutely gorgeous look at last night's sunset from Smith Lake. Just look at that color there and all the different contrasts. I want to thank Ron Sparkman for sharing that view on the First Alert Weather app. And not to be outdone, this is the sunset in Fairview in Coleman County. Thanks to Karen Warren for sending us this lovely view from the First Alert Weather app also. But a great way to send those updates on the weather app, and I mentioned you can check that for the forecast updates through the weekend. We'll see you tonight after the game.